is often referred to as the Tiferet or Zeir Anpin, as transcendent, and the divine feminine is often referred to as Malchut or shechina, the immanent aspect of God. And combining these two energies, the masculine and feminine, that's the goal of number 5, of the rituals, the mitzvot, the activities that we do in sacred time, in sacred space, in sacred self, to unite these two divine aspects of L'shem yichud kutrubichu shechinte, for the sake of the unity of the Holy One, blessed be He, the He meaning the masculine, ushchinte, and the beloved divine feminine presence. That's number 6. Number 7, 8, 9, and 10, we will condense for the sake of this lesson, and we'll do them more in another lesson. But some of it has to do with the ability to then reframe the history of the world in general and the Jewish people in particular, the children of Israel, and see it as a way, a dynamic unfolding in the real world of this inner process in the upper worlds, how they get affected by us and vice versa, how we are affected by the unity of the Holy One, blessed be He, and the shechina, or disunity causes either a state of togetherness or exile. So that's and then there are rituals in the Zohar and specific things that the Zohar brings to our attention beyond just the regular Torah of how to affect this unity. So with primarily the 6 keys that I've given you today, and a little bit of the combination of the last keys that I'm going to share with you later, I'm going to read a section of the Zohar and show you. And I could do it any parsha. You could do it in any Torah reading on the Zohar and apply it. And these are ideas that I've collected over the years from a Kabbalist who I've been in communication with to talk to them about the Zohar and what are the important themes in the Zohar. So if you like it, don't give me the credit. And if you don't like it, then it's probably my fault. So, Vayidaber Hashem al Moshe b'midbar Sinai b'Ohel Moed. It opens up with a verse that is the beginning of the book of Numbers that says that God revealed Himself to Moses at the Sinai desert in the tent of meeting. Now, right away, the Zohar, like the Talmud, doesn't believe in any superfluous words in the Torah. It's not just poetic license. And even here where it says that it's identifying the name of the place and the particular place within the place. It was the Sinai desert in the tent of meeting. One of the first things the Zohar is going to say is, what's the significance of these 2 names? And again, we just said that the entire Torah is God's names communicating with each other. So what we're now going to do, the Zohar is going to do, is it's going to define what level, what aspect of God is connected to Sinai. And it'll eventually tell us that Sinai, or in this case, the Sinai desert, is related to the idea of receiving Torah, because we received the Torah from Sinai. A Sinai isn't just a place. It's not just the Sinai desert or Mount Sinai. It's actually a bechina. It's a divine level in which certain Torah, certain hora'ah, lessons are revealed. On the other hand, Ohel Moed, which is a tent of meeting, which we usually understand to be the tent of meeting that was both the sanctuary and also the place that Moses received his special instruction, although there's discussion about whether those 2 things mean the same thing all the time or not, but that's not for here. But here we're going to learn that it does mean the Mishkan, it does mean the sanctuary. And what we're going to say is that the historical approach to Kabbalah is understanding the history of the world through the lens of the unification versus the alienation of the divine names. So what now happens at the beginning of Numbers is some form of completion, a closing of the circuitry in the intra-divine communication with humanity that happens when we become encamped in the Sinai desert with the knowledge of the Torah, this spiritual knowledge of the Torah, in the place that we can manifest that information in a way of life and actualizing it in the tent of meeting. And that's the place where God commands us to count the children of Israel. The Zohar will explain this significance. So, the Zohar goes on and says, Rabbi Abba, Pasach. Rabbi Abba opens up with a verse from Genesis, one of the most famous verses in Genesis, and this is number 3 in our keys, which is the idea that we're all created in the divine image. The verse says, Vayivra, I believe it's the 27th verse of the first chapter of Genesis. The verse is, Vayivra Elokim es Adam b'tzalmo. Actually, I think that's verse 25. And then there's verse 27 that continues with the discussion of God